Check, 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 check. What's going down? Ladies and gentlemen, happy Memorial Day. I come to you on this fine Monday, as we do every Monday at 8 p.m. and bring you your weekly dose of dopamine from the TheGardenGumbo show. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. It's raining profusely outside. Okay, I may have to share the live, and those who are coming in now, I see Nerdy Girl, I see Sweet Pea. Can you guys please help me out and share the live? Thank you. Man, I didn't even introduce myself. Sorry. I am your favorite farmer's favorite farmer, Mercy Merce. Yeah, I didn't even bring my props or anything. This is straight up and down, no special effects. Hey, how you doing there? Bougie Farmer, Sweet Pea, thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for all the likes and the love that you're giving me. Man, shout out to my parents. I wouldn't be here without them. I didn't put not one nickel in that quarter. You know what I mean? So, hey, this is what shook the dice. Got your brother, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Heavenly Father, you know what I'm saying? Because, hey, I read this book one time, and it was talking about you got to honor your moms and pops, and your days will go long. So it was in the 10 Commandments. And it also said, love God with all your heart, you know what I mean? So I'm just doing that. As long as I'm doing those two things, I'm good. I'm starting off a real good thing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I see my family up there. She said my favorite farmer. Thank you so much. What up? I see Memphis in the building. I see Pittsburgh in the building. I see Florida in the building. Thank you for your eyes coming in. Hey, man, you know, this platform is to build generational wealth, man. And we are magnanimous with the information, you know what I mean? Magnanimous meaning generous. Generous, you know what I'm saying? Some people tell me I'm a leader, you know, and we're going to get into that tonight because I learned some of my leadership skills in the U.S. military. It's Veterans Day, so, you know, we're going to talk about that. One of the best things about being a leader is to be a good listener. So, you know, on this show, I'm not usually the most talkative person, you know what I mean? I get in where I fit in, you know, I let the experts do what they do, you know? But at the same time, I try to pride myself on being a really decent listener. You know, we can't do music anymore. I used to come on with my theme music because, you know, I walk in here, I got big energy. You know, I think I need a doom, 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 doom. I need some kind of theme music. But if I put music on and reflect this good thing I got going on inside, I'm not going to monetize on YouTube. So that's a skirt. So we're just going to send mad peace and blessings to everybody, man. Hug yourself for showing up. I appreciate all those who come here every week and been giving me the most outstanding support. It is deepest gratitude for those who do that. You know what I'm saying? Know that every contribution that you do in your presence is felt and appreciated because it's an incentive to keep going. Sometimes, man, you know, these platforms, it is my deepest opinion that they oppress people that look like me. Yes, they suppress our content because they don't want to let us have a voice. So that's why it is imperative, meaning very important, that people like myself use this platform to make sure we have a voice for the people who are voiceless. That is our responsibility. You know, we ain't just going to sit here and talk about fluff. I don't care about what you wore to the awards. I don't care about what your dog ate and this and that and other. We keep it garden content, but there's so many levels to it, you know? And you guys who are past guests, y'all know what we talk about. We talk about a myriad of things. But it's also important to talk for those who don't have a voice. So if someone put things in my ear, it's a topic, something that needs to be channeled. That's why we ask you guys. It's like, hey, this show is for you. You guys are a part of it just as much as I am. We tell you guys to send your suggestions and comments to the Garden Gumbo email. And what may be, Mr. Farmer, it will be TheGardenGumbo@gmail.com. TheGardenGumbo@gmail.com. And you can say, hey, man, I like the show. I don't like the show. Here's an idea. You know what I mean? You guys are doing great. You guys stink to high heaven, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You just want to say hi. Don't send no nudies because those will get blocked. But, you know what I mean? If you just want to vibe and keep the party going, hey, you know what I'm saying? That's what we doing out here, man. We trying to keep it positive. We paying it forward. We got little kids, man. Keep it kid friendly. This is a kid show. We gonna keep it on community guidelines because I got a 7-year-old who be in my telling me, Daddy, you can't use bad words, and he's right. So we can't do it. And we try to keep up with the community guidelines. So we ain't doing no cussing. We ain't gonna be doing no fussing. We ain't gonna be doing no drinking. We ain't gonna be doing no drugging. We ain't gonna be doing none of that craziness. This is not a hookup show. We ain't trying look. I ain't trying to look up your dress. None of that. Cancel and halt. This is gardening. This is garden humor. This is garden tips. Not that tip. It's garden hacks. Okay. It's garden information. All things gardening. Okay, what's up, Birmingham? I see you. I see Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? Hey. All the love, man. All the love in the world, man. Hey. My brother said you looking, I look like I'm aging backwards. Hey, man, I appreciate that, man. You know, look, like I said, look, that's my mama and my daddy, baby. You know what I'm saying? I ain't putting out one nickel in that quarter, baby. You heard? You give props to them. You give props to your parents, and your days will be long, man. You feel me? So, what we talking about today, family? We're gonna be talking about some veteran things. I was trying to get into my my computer with the rain glitching. I had some information, man, about how they may be injecting our food, and they selling rubbery bananas, and the lady cut into a watermelon, and it was nothing but red dye came out of it, and it was like a lot of fake, fraudulent type of food products, man. This is 911 emergency, man. We got to be all hands on deck, family. I'm going to tell you right now, this is coming from the pits of the bottom of my heart, and it's coming from the deepest part of my diaphragm and the recesses in the back of my mind. Family, listen, man. If you ain't started a garden yet, you're screwed, man. If you on Grow Zone 7B, this is the end of May, you're screwed, man. You know? Listen, they done passed a law that they can now put the sticky icky in the lettuce. And if it's in the lettuce, it's in everything, man. You know what I mean? I would like everybody to employ a movie. It is a free movie. It is called, I hope it's still free. It is called The Future of Your Food. And you possibly, let me see if I can get on. Let me see if I can do that. If I can get on here. If I could get on, we're going to be in business. All right, let's see if we can get on here. But the rain is glitching, you know what I'm saying? So I can't control that, ladies and gentlemen. But it's a movie. It's kind of old at this point. It's called The Future of Your Food. So that future is now, you know? I'm going to see if I could possibly, the future of your food. I would be more prepared if I was reading from a script. That's not how we do here. We have to just keep teaching others. Yes, Sister Vanessa, I'm proud that I taught kids the last 3 months how to start a garden. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That is amazing. Man, Okay. The movie which I was speaking of, it's not pulling up, man. Fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks. I can't. All right. So if somebody happen to find the link, it's called thefutureofyourfood.com. It's a free movie. They made it free for everybody. Listen, I advise you guys to do some homework. You can come back next week and we can talk about it. On another note, another brother made a compelling movie. Can anybody help me out? Y'all know that? Y'all ever saw this movie called Super Size Me? When he was talking about the French fries that never broke down. That dude came up. He passed on like a few days ago. I didn't get his name, but yeah, man, it's real in the field. Let me see. Let me get his name just so we could just give him homage and just want to say that, give him his acknowledgement. His name is I believe. Yeah, his name is Morgan Spurlock. He died May 23rd, 2024. Morgan Valentine Spurlock. Hey, man, I didn't know him. He's a filmmaker, playwright, and screenwriter, and a TV producer. He's done 23 films, and he's no longer with us. I know him from Super Size Me. That was his blockbuster, 2024, 20 years ago. So if you can, put rest in peace in the chat. And that's just something, it's the right thing to do. Let's give people, these guys and it's Memorial Day. We memorial all the kings. Hey, man, shout out to Dick Gregory, man. That was a good brother. You know what I mean? Dr. Layla Africa, Dr. Sabi. Is anybody else can help me out with some of the people who you have been on your journey with? If you want to bring some honorees or just some people that we may know from the past, man, shout out to people that I know from my neighborhood, man. I usually rock my Brownsville Veteran. That's a whole clothing line, you know what I mean? I must have misplaced it. It's probably at my crib in Georgia. But I'm wearing one of my favorite shirts. I don't know if y'all can get it. It's called They Bled For Us. It's just a shout out for the ancestors, man. Listen, they paved the way. If it wasn't for people like that, these great people, we standing on their shoulders. If it wasn't for them pushing us up, we wouldn't be here. We are the generation that our grandparents prayed for, and I can't say about the generation behind me. I'm a Generation X. I'm a Gen Xer, okay? I don't know too much about Y, but we praying for Generation Z, okay? And, hey, they're going to try to reset they program, but we putting things in the ether to counterbalance the foolishness. She said, do I have a family in Birmingham? I meet this brother last week, and y'all look like family. Well, Sister Vanessa, that is an amazing question. Yes, I did have family in Birmingham. My uncle, Dr. Charles Jones, used to teach at Miles College. And everybody knew my uncle, Dr. Jones. He was a beast. He was a doctor in biology. You would find him commonly at Taggart Hall. He died about 97, 98-ish. Hey, man, I got a chance to be on that campus for about a year. And I came back to New York City. You know what I'm saying? I didn't graduate. That was a historical black college, too, by the way. I end up graduating from Pace University here in downtown Brooklyn. But I had the experience. I had the tier. What is it? It's predominantly white institutions, PWIs, and the historical black colleges. So yes, sister. No, I don't know brother Quentin, but I do know quite a few people in Birmingham. I do. You could ask people about Merciful. You know what I mean? I was there when Dr. Sloan was there. He was, God vested that on him too. I came in, I went to Miles College with some long dreadlocks, a chew stick, and probably some very spicy tea seasonings in my ear, and people was looking at me like, "Who's that dude with the dreadlocks?" They didn't have any dreadlocks there at the time, and one of the deans of the school, she bumped me. I was about 26. I'd have been around the world in I. She bumped me. We're amidst a bunch of 18 and 19-year-olds, and she said, "Oh no, you didn't come up in here with those things in your hair." I said, "Excuse me? I know you didn't with your hair dyed, fried, and laid to the side. You don't even know whose hair is that. If you don't get up out my face, you don't even know yourself, ma'am. I rebuke you. Be on your way before I make everybody laugh at you." And it's just like you're laughing now. Everybody was like, it was a mess. Yeah, we don't want to do that. So, I'm quite the, the character then, now, and forever. Yes, ma'am. So, yeah, people know me very well in Memphis. In Memphis as well. In Birmingham, they know me. Take a screenshot of me, and if he was around the time that I was there, he'd be like, "Yeah, I know my brother. He's a good dude." I had a company. I was selling incense and oils, and I used to like write songs, believe it or not, and I was always on the music vibe. Chris Play Martin, you went to my school. I got to hang out with him a few times. It was a good time. So yeah. Any other questions about my travels before we get into these veterans and all of that? We're going to bring a couple of veterans to the stage today, man. We're going to talk about some, if I could have got on my computer, it would have been a good look. Maybe Nerdy Girl or Sweet Pea or one of you guys, we got a little group. I posted something the other day, and it was really about, how they are tampering with these foods. And it's different than just GMOs now. The food is just like, this food is different now. It's scary now. So, you're hearing things about the meat isn't even real. They're putting meat glue on these foods. It's tough, man. I mean, it's really scary. So I just urge you all to continue to grow and be happy. And, it's almost like the good book said, man, if you don't, what you reap is what you sow. So if you ain't growing nothing, you ain't going to be eating nothing. It's all suspect at this point. So, yes. Correct, Brother Yancey. 3D printed meats. Now, disclaimer. We're supposed to have the show for Mrs. Tamara to do the canning. As I said last week, if you were here. We also said that our sister Anquisha from Arizona was coming on the show, and neither one of them could communicate with me before the show. And since I couldn't get in contact with you, we decided to move with another show. And Mrs. Tamara is here, and I am deeply sorry that you are here. But I called you about 4 o'clock, and you didn't pick up the phone. So, we gonna have to do a veteran show. We can't just pop on the show. We run a tight ship. We have to have some type of order. Without order, there will be chaos. So you have to go with how the conductor is conducting this music. You know what I'm saying? When you see the person doing all of this, he not doing this for nothing. You see the guy in the traffic, you know what I'm saying? He's like waving traffic. That's me. I let people go, you know what I'm saying? Or don't go, you know what I mean? But hey, you know, Miss Tamara, with all due respect, I try to contact you. You know, I try to make it fair for everybody. It's all inclusive. But listen, we plan our shows weeks in advance, man. I don't know, like all of this spontaneity thing. You know, people just want to get caught in the moment. I kind of plan my shows out a month in advance. You know what I mean? And that way I know what I'm doing. I can't just have all of these different meteorites and tornadoes and flood watches and, you know, locusts. No. We ain't doing all of that. We gotta, you know, I'm the sun, the soul controller. You know, it's like, you know how you got the sun in the middle of the solar system, and you got 9 planets revolving around the sun, and none of the, you notice that none of the planets hit each other because the sun is in the middle. You know what I mean? So it has to have order. Everything has to have a divine order. If we are 93 million miles away from the sun, if we go an inch away from that diameter, we'll freeze. If we go an inch too close, we will burn. We have to have order, you know? So please, you know, we have to make sure we have all these things in synced. You know what I'm saying? To have a proper synchronicity. Anyway, so tonight we hope to have our sister come on, Nerdy Girl. If our sister Roxy comes on, she may or may not come on. I don't think she said she could, but then maybe she said she can't. So we ain't gonna hold it against her. But Nerdy Girl and her husband are both veterans. If our brother Tove comes on here, we talk to him as well. You know, we're gonna talk about veteran things today, and we're gonna talk about veterans in the garden, if that's all right with y'all. Okay? So, without further ado, Mrs. Maria Goldberg, aka Mrs. Nerdy Girl. Where you at, sis? There she go. What's up, sis? I gotta announce.
Hello.
We got an Army veteran here that's living out in Florida by way of Philadelphia. She's got a small homestead, and we love her, man. Ladies and gentlemen, if you please give some love to Sister Nerdy Girl.
Hold on, I'm just doing some last minute setups with the.
Okay, that's not a problem. Is Mr. Cow gonna be able to make it today? We hope.
Yes, he's coming.
Hey, how you doing this afternoon? This evening?
I am doing good. My vegetables are doing good. I know I can't show it here on TikTok, but we're tanning a hide. Um, so we got done the first process yesterday. So super excited about that. It took like 4 hours to prepare. So, um, and we had our first ever fully farm to table meal on Saturday. We invited our neighbors up and our close friend, and we did the braised goat.
How'd it come out?
It came out really delicious. And another thing we did, well, I did, is I made a peach cheesecake from the peaches that I grew out in the orchard.
Oh, a cheesecake
And,
from peaches?
yeah.
Wow. You gonna give up
Yep.
the recipe? I know all these ladies are jealous right now. She made a peach cheesecake. I know they want to know. So what'd you use? You know we gotta know a little something. You gotta tell us all of it, but you know, a little.
I don't use, for whatever reason, a lot of people use sour cream in their cheesecakes, and I just think that's gross. I don't use sour cream, and the recipe I use is a no bake cheesecake. So you're using plain gelatin to whisk it, and you're pretty much whisking it to the point of airiness. And what I did with all my fresh peaches is I cut them up, sauteed them, and cooked them with a little bit of brandy on the stove right next to me. And then I mixed it into the cheesecake mixture, so that way it would do like a swirling effect when I poured the plain and the peach one.
Nice.
Came out really delicious.
How was it?
How was it, babe?
Oh, delicious.
All right. If you guys don't know, Kyle is also a veteran. That's a Navy buddy right here. What's going on, brother? What's up, shipmate?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm pretty cool, man. You know, just want to just give you guys some flowers while y'all here, man. We all veterans, man. You know, and got a couple more veterans that if they show up, you know what I mean. But you guys are like, you know, unsung heroes, man. You guys don't get enough attention. We don't get enough at acknowledgement or appreciation. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I personally want to thank you for your service.
Appreciate it. Thank you as well.
Thank you. Thank you as well.
And you know, Kyle, you know, you from the Navy like me. You know, that represents never again volunteer yourself. And I tell your wife all the time, you know what Army stands for, right? No. Aren't ready to be a Marine yet. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Aren't ready to be a Marine yet.
Go with the jokes.
Don't worry, I get Tove all the time too. If Tove comes in here today, he gonna get it too. Tove is a Marine. So yeah, man. So if you guys want to tell us, you know, you want to let the lady go first, or you want to go, Kyle, tell us a little bit about your Navy experience, and then we, like, you know, talk about your farming experience, if you guys don't mind.
No, you can.
You want me to talk about you or? So I was a cook in the Army. I was a 92 Gulf. I was stationed out in Fort Stewart in Hinesville, Georgia. That's what I did for my military career. But I was also in a field artillery unit, so I got to shoot a lot of fun stuff, which was fun. When it comes to the farm, we have a 6-acre small farm. We grow our own meat for the most part. We grow our own goat. We grow our own cow. We have grown our own hogs in the past. And we also we're self-sustainable when it comes to chickens. So we grow our own chickens, like even hatch them out for the next generation if we need to harvest. We, as you could tell from the peach cheesecake, we grow our own variety of fruit off of fruit trees. Invite us to the cookout.
Invite you to the cookout. That's what's up. You're getting people hungry over here. Go ahead. Hangry. Come on.
But we have how many varieties of fruit do you think we have?
15.
15?
15 or 18.
He says we have 15 to 18 different varieties of fruit on our farm. Okay. So yes, we do. We have veggies. We just haven't been able to harvest yet because our frost date was a lot later than those like you see farming in Orlando or further south.
Man, that's amazing, man. You know, I appreciate that, man. Listen, the last time I spoke to you guys gave me the full walk of your land there. I remember we was talking about the alfalfa and the blackberries and such and such.
Oh, the blackberries by the way, are running wild. We have a huge patch now in front of the chicken pen, and we're just going to let it continue to spread. We're hoping to be able to harvest those berries in the next few weeks. And we have a bunch of strawberries coming in as well as blueberries. So my next cheesecake is going to be a triple layer berry cheesecake.
Woo! Hey, everybody get her information. She's selling cheesecakes, okay? Kyle is collecting the money, okay? Got a whole business over here with pies and cheesecakes and this and that. We're going to give these people all of the support that we can. You know what I'm saying? You know, They getting it out the mud, y'all. Come on now. Literally, you know. And you know, I'm so happy that you guys listen to me. You took them berries and you start to listen. That's the long game with that. All right, if you guys didn't know, we had a conversation and you know, was trying to figure out a ways how to increase your territory. And she shared with me that she had a blackberry patch. I said, "You got all those blackberries for free. If you don't put them in your goat pen, if you don't put them in your pig pen, if you don't put them in your chicken pen, hey, it may run for a while, but it will always come back, especially goats. The goats will nibble them down and it'll keep growing back. And like, put it on all four corners of that sucker. You know, you ain't paid for it. You know what I'm saying? It's an endless supply. Man, you guys are
There's
so
a bunch
blessed.
growing into the cow pen right now. We just got to keep the goats from going over there so it can grow and spread. Because once they see it and smell it, they book it right for those blackberry bushes. And I'm like, no, I need it to spread. Get out of here.
Nah, what you do, man, plant like a little bit. It's a slow game. You know, you do like once a week or something. Plant one big deal, one big plot, and put it like in the north, right? Put some rocks around it, you know, let it take off, you know, and then you do the south, and then you do the east, then you do the west. You know, it's a long game, right? Or whenever you feel like it, you own it, you got nothing but time, right? And do the same thing, little bit by little bit, you know, because you know, you guys is got little kids and stuff, you know. So
Was
before
also
you know
thinking
it,
about letting my raspberries go wild because I had said that I was planting raspberries and someone was like, "Oh, make sure you don't put them in the ground because they're going to grow wild." And I was like, "Oh no, so many raspberries!" Like
right,
that's
right,
don't threaten me with a good time. You know how much
for
my kids
real,
eat? I got four. I got four kids. You know how much berries they eat?
that's
Like
right.
don't threaten me with a good time. So I told my husband, I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll take one of the raspberries, plant them in the ground, and just let it take off.
That's it.
Just
That's
let
it.
it go.
Put it behind their chickens. You know what I'm saying? Give the chickens something to do because they're gonna eat all of it. You know,
Yeah,
I'm so proud of y'all, man. I love it, man. In a year or two, you know, it takes time to develop your situation, but you're doing all the right steps. And like you know, you're doing alfalfa too. Before you know it, you ain't gonna have no chicken feed.
yeah. That's what we're looking forward to.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? I try to tell you that, right? I told you that. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what
So
we're
it's gonna
hoping
work out
for.
for you. It's gonna work out for you, man. You know, that's it, man. That's what we got to do. We got to keep sciencing each other up. It's called cross training each other, man, and for greatness, you know. And before you know it, each one teach one, reach one, you know. And we getting better and better and better, you know, because like everything that we're doing as far as like testing seeds and sharing and this and that, you know, like people have been, yeah, I am so blessed, right? Thank you, Heavenly Father. People, you great people here in Gumbo land. This should be a shirt, right? Gumbo land have been sending me stuff from all over the nation. And we're trying to plan a little bit by little bit, you know? And some of these invasive species from different areas. Look, if somebody sent me some from California and I'm here in Brooklyn and I'm planting this here and it's successful, boom. Now I could send it to somebody in Memphis, or I could send it to Atlanta, or I could send it to Houston, Texas, or send it to Kansas City, or you know, St. Louis. And little bit by little bit, we are going to be growing these different species. And you guys are coming up with some really interesting things, man. Edwina sent me some cucumber melons that I can't wait to plant. Little cucumber melon. What? You know? And so like everybody's sending me stuff. You sent me stuff too. You sent me some horehound, nerdy girl.
Oh,
And
you got it.
yeah, I got it. It's over there, sitting right there. You know, I just didn't put it in the ground yet, but I'm a little bit by little bit. Derek sent me some okra. So like, you know, we can't plant everything. You know, I have to plant my stuff too. You know, but little bit by I got them. We gonna get to it.
That's
We
good.
gonna get
Not
man.
yet, Black Hero. Not yet. But I do have beehives. I'm trying to catch bees like wild. I don't want to have to spend money on bees when I didn't spend money on the hives. So if I can do it for free, that's the goal.
Oh, you can call me. You already know. That's what I do. You got lemongrass?
Yes.
I'll teach you.
Okay.
The soup though.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a suit. I'm gonna get a suit.
Before you start playing that game, get you a suit.
I'm gonna get
And
a
I'm gonna tell
suit.
you right now, don't wear any type of perfume when you get around them.
Okay. Listen, whatever you say, I'm gonna listen because I'm allergic to bees. Okay. So I have to make sure I wear the suit and whatever tips and tricks you tell me, because I know you got hives.
You
I'm gonna
already
listen because I
not
can't
fly.
afford to get stung because I literally use an EpiPen for them. So no,
Yeah, it's not a game. It's really not a
no.
game. I'll teach you, what you have to do to fortify yourself. And even if you get stung, strong possibility you will get stung. Okay. When you ask a beekeeper, like, hey, merciful, you ever got stung by a bee? Like, ha 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 ha. It's a joke. You ask a beekeeper how many times have they got stung in a day? Yeah. The most I got stung in a day was like 22 times.
I'll just have you deal with the
Yeah.
bees.
So it's not a game. So you can
I'll just have
definitely.
him deal with the bees then.
Yeah, I don't mind.
It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. What you got to do, you gotta relax. We'll talk. We'll talk about that. That's a whole nother show. And I haven't even done a show on bees, and I should. But I don't mind teaching people that. But anyway,
But
man, pivot back, man. Kyle, man, talk to us, man. He's so quiet, brother. Let's go. That's the strong calculating brother. Come on, teach us something, man. Add on.
Oh, I don't have anything to add for the gardening, but I was Navy. Started out in deck department, moved up to mass communications, and wrote it up there. Traveled all around South America and the Pacific. It was pretty great.
You was on a boat or on a plane?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
on a boat.
Both.
Oh, never mind.
I mean, I was on a battleship, but it was a plane. You know what I mean? So I was at Airedale. So just so you know that about me. But what was mass communications? Is that like
It's a landing ship.
No, okay.
I was on the USS America.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
it's like a new version of the Marines. Uh, it's not amphibious, but it's for their air wing specifically. But it's the same size as like the Macon Island and all that.
Oh, like one of those. It's like a frigate, right? One of those, or
I don't know. It's like it's almost like an aircraft carrier, but it's like a medium-sized one instead of the big boys. It's
okay.
strictly for
That's dope, man. That's dope.
What, what's a mass communication specialist?
oh, I did public affairs, journalism, video, anything that has to do with
Photography.
anything that has to do with reaching out to public or other services.
He's modest, but I think it was last year, the Navy recruitment videos, that was his B-roll that he shot. And the
Wow.
pictures and stuff that were on the Navy recruitment website, those were his photos.
Wow. Sharp Eye Washington over here. When you say get your gun ready, he got the camera, okay? It's a different type of shooting over here. That's what's up, Kyle. That's amazing. You should be
So
proud, man. That's cool.
saves a lot of money when it comes to picture time around the family.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
did a lot of the pictures that people see on my Instagram or my farm Facebook where people are like, "Oh man, that picture should be in a magazine." That's him. That's
Oh
him taking the
no.
pictures.
Oh man. You got this guy in here. Black Hero said he would love to interview you.
Yeah, I'm down. I used to do the same stuff, so I know how it works.
We'll get his contact information, Black Hero, and share the live. Everybody, tap the screen, give these people some love. We ain't going nowhere yet. If you're just coming in, but we just reading the comments. But make
Just
sure you.
Black Hero, send an email to our farm email, nerdygirlfarmer@gmail.com.
That's right, nerdygirlfarmer@gmail.com. If you didn't get it, for the people in the back.
Yeah. Just send an email to us.
That's right, for business only.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yep.
right. That's right.
No spam.
Right. That's a spice ham because they got pigs. Jokes. Yeah,
But
man.
yeah, a lot of people jump right into farming, and that they get upset because nothing is like right away or instantaneous. And we've been at it for a little over 5 years, slowly doing everything. And there's stuff we're still learning. Like we put in, how tall is Topper fence? 5 feet?
4.
4. We put in cat, or is it field fencing around for our cow, and it's about 4 feet, but it's a little off the ground. So you would think he can't hop over it because as tall it is as it
He
is.
doesn't. He wallows over
Yeah,
it.
he just stomps right over it, So we know for next time if we decide to do a feeder cow again, we're probably going to actually have to invest in cattle panels
Or electric fencing.
and teach them while they're small calves, like, oh, you touch this, it's bad. But when you have a cow that's constantly just waffle stomping, your fence down, it's like, come on, that fence roll was like almost $400.
Right. How big is he? How big is the cow right now?
How much do you think he weighs?
My estimate? Or
Your estimate.
He's like 1,000 pounds. Maybe 1,100.
He's like a year yet, or like 2 years?
Oh no, he'll be 2 in September.
Right.
So he's almost there. And
It's just he was a twin, and they didn't take good care of him when he was little, so he didn't get massive like that.
Yeah.
He's a runt.
Yes. Otherwise, he'd probably be double his size, which is terrifying because he acts like a big old lawn puppy. So when he gets playful, it's cute from far away, but when it's up close, it's like, ooh, because that's a lot of weight coming at you, and they want to play. And you can feel it in the ground, like the ground shakes and everything. I won't do bob wire for the simple fact that my kids really like, I can tell them I can turn off hot fencing so that my kids can go up to the fence and pet the cow. But bob wire, like, it's too much of a safety issue with my 3 smaller kids that I wouldn't risk it. So, and not to mention my livestock guardians that are outside. I don't want any of my livestock dogs to get hurt, or the kids, but
Or me.
or him, because he is a disabled veteran and he has random falls. And all it would take is for him to fall randomly near the fence and get seriously injured. So a hot wire I can shut off. There's no problem. But a bob wire, after you put that up, there's like, I can't do anything about it. It's a safety issue. But I appreciate the tip. Because we did consider it at one point, and then we had to outweigh the pros and the cons.
What I really love about this conversation is like, people who are like new to farming, and you got the OGs, and like we're kind of novice to like intermediate. Like the life cycle of a cow for him to like double his size is like, it usually takes about 28 months, right? It's almost 3 years or 2 years and a half, right? And you got to feed that bad fella for 2 years and some change to just for him to double up, and that could be really rough. And like he said, he's almost 2 years and he's already 1,100 pounds. I don't know what your goal weight is. I shared before, like a guy was going to sell me a cow, a baby was 400 pounds already. And, whatever the price was per pound, he said, well, he'll triple in almost 2 years. I'm like, man, you got to feed him. And, those bales of hay and depending on your acreage, like, it's a whole science, and the science changed. It used to be 1 cow per acre. Now it's 1 cow per 3 acres. You know what I mean? Because the quality of land is a little bit funny now, and it takes a minute for that to happen, and that's not a slow process. And like what you guys are saying, what I'm hearing is like, hey, we're just learning and we're still figuring things out, and of course, you got to know how to pivot, and that's the beauty of it, because like even when you a lot of us, we just want to show, this is TikTok, right? And we're real farmers. We're not just TikTok farmers, right? And it's like some people just doing it for the gram, hey, look at my vegetables. They just looking amazing, And it's like, and I'm getting my butt kicked every day. You know what I'm saying? I got different variations of
We've
different
had
fruits.
bruises on our legs and stuff like that from, the goats being ridiculous,
My
or
ribs,
from, who was it?
Maui.
From Maui, slamming into his ribs, which was a goat, or the cow, like, getting spooked and kicking us. Like, we're real farmers. Like, there's real risks of injury. And it's not for the faint of heart. Like, can you tame a 1,500-pound cow? Yes, to an extent. To an extent. I would always say don't trust an Angus cow. Like, to an extent you can trust them, but when I saw my Angus cow that I bottle raised coming at me full force, like, no, like, I would never turn my back on him ever. So
I do.
he does, because he told me, because he's disabled, that if he's gonna get hurt, he's like, there's nothing he can do about it. He's like, I'm disabled. It's not like I can run.
No, I have training too. I've been going to school for veterinary medicine, and they teach a lot of stuff about how to handle them or just being around them. And as long as you're calm, it's usually pretty good.
Right.
Don't get excited, happy or bad excited.
You got to chill because that's part of nature. Like they're chilling too. They don't want you to be roughing them up. They're going to go into defense mode, fight or flight mode or whatever. And, I learned that too. Be surprised. Like, I got a farm in Georgia and like a big buck. This guy was huge, man. He had to be like 7 feet tall, right? With the big antlers or whatever. I don't know how tall he was with the antlers, but he
The
run
horns.
the horns, whatever. Yeah, right. He was like
You could have both.
points, 12 point. I don't know how many points, but he looked at me like, "What's up, bro?" I was like, I was frozen with fear. Okay, I didn't move. I was like, he just looked at me like, "What's up, man? All right, I see you. Praise God." He laughed like Tony Baker. Praise God. He just bounced. I said, "Wow, that could have been ugly." I didn't have any fences for that. I wasn't prepared. This is their homeland. They roaming free. What?
Speaking of which, we got to put a fence around the orchard. Remember how I told you I got over 100 peaches and stuff on my peach tree? Man, the deer got to them. I only was able to, I think, harvest like a handful for 10 for my cheesecake, because the deer ate them all, broke branches and everything. I'm just hoping they don't find my fig tree, because last year they ate my fig tree to the point where it was just like one twig. And I was like, oh, it's done. But it came back after me fertilizing it every 2 weeks and constantly watering it and make sure it's had the proper nutrients. I got like over 100 figs, and I'm like, please don't let them find this. Please don't let them find this again.
Start pruning it back though. You might have to prune it and like duplicate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Think about that. Like, you have the tree, it's already fruiting. Cut it a few times and now you can move it somewhere else. And especially if like the sight lines where they may be or they may appear, they can just deal with that one and keep you.
My goal is to put fencing around that. For that one, I might put barbed wire like a little bit higher to where the kids can't even reach it or touch it. But if a deer were to stand up to try and get to my plants, they're the ones who would get hurt. Because them suckers, when they get on their back legs, they get tall. So for them, I wouldn't mind putting barbed wire or razor wire pretty high. But yeah, they're going after my fruit now, so I'm gonna definitely have to put a fence and a door around my orchard, because I put too much work into them.
Correct. Are these trees in pots or these trees are in the ground?
No, they're in the ground. These trees are in the ground. The fig tree has been there for 3 years. Some of the peach trees have been there for years. The apple trees have been there for, I want to say, like 4 or 5 years. The pear tree looks like we actually might get fruit this year because it is growing with abundance. Because I started a new fertilizer regimen for it, and it's pretty much taken off to where it's as big as my peach tree that's been in the ground for years. So yeah, I think I might get pears from it this year. And my plums are getting big, like the tree is getting big, my other apple tree is getting big. So yeah, I put too much work into these things, fertilizing them, and money fertilizing them, watering them, and pruning them back during the fall to make sure they regrow better and like more foliage in the spring and summer, for some deer to just take it all out.
Right. And what are you using for fertilizer? What are you using for fertilizer?
So I buy a bunch of different organic fertilizers. One like has high, what is it, like
Acidic.
high acid, and then I mix it with phosphorus. Like I bought like a little pack of phosphorus, and then stuff with nitrogen, like alfalfa, like natural alfalfa. I mean, I feed alfalfa to my goats, so I just buy the pellets and I just soak them, and then I mix it in with the fertilizer and throw it. So I try and mix like an all natural fertilizer and do it every couple weeks.
Okay.
So
this is for the trees, right? Right.
yeah, it's for the trees.
Yeah.
And only the blueberries and the berries and the peaches and the lemon, or the lemon and limes, or they get the more higher acidity, whereas the apples and the pears can't, and the figs can't take that high acidity. So I don't even put it into their mix.
Right. And you got to write down everything too.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have all these different variations. Yeah.
So it's been just trying to have such a diverse orchard has been like a learning process too, a learning curve. Because most people, they'll find their niche, like, oh, I'm gonna grow apples because we really love apples, and that's all they stick to. Or I love peaches, I'm gonna grow peaches, and that's all I'm gonna stick to. Or berries. Now I want it all. I want it all. I want my kids to be able to come out and make a fruit salad and not have to worry about it. So,
Word. That's good stuff.
yeah.
Healthy.
Oh yeah, and that's why I don't get mad when because our all 6 of our berry plant pots have been in like constant fruit. So every time they go outside, they're picking handfuls of berries. Doesn't matter if it's blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries. They're just picking them and they're eating them and playing in their gardens and eating. And I don't even get mad, even though I want to make jams and jellies. I'm like, you know what, whatever. You guys are eating healthy out here.
Right. That's amazing. That's good. That's they eating off the grounds too. And you know that it's not going to be crap. You know, it's stuff that's you're not going to put crap in your own food.
No, and it's better than giving them some unhealthy like snack like chips or anything else that they would rather have for a snack. I'd much rather them have healthy fruit that they're helping me grow, because they get excited. They get excited when I tell them, hey, we're going to go out to the garden. They're like, yay. They put their little garden boots on. They have their own little trowel and their own little shovel and stuff. And they come out with their little gardening bag and their gloves. And we go out into the garden and we fertilize, we water, and they eat fruit. And it's a good time. And I'm teaching them how to garden. That's why they have their own raised beds too. And it's been so great to see them, like, the difference in their 2 garden beds. I mean, they both wanted flowers, but my Ellie was more focused on growing like carrots and radishes and like things for salads, whereas my son was more interested in growing like leafy greens and herbs and strawberries. So it was really cool to see their differences, because I pretty much gave them my whole seed suitcase and I was like, pick whatever you want. Whatever you want, we'll plant. That's so, and I recommend if anyone wants to get their kids into planting, buy them a small, like little, or make it yourself. Make it yourself with some untreated 2x4, and make them a small little bed and let them pick their own seeds. Because 9 times out of 10, if they pick out their own seeds and plant it themselves, they're going to eat it. And
Right.
especially if you have a picky eater who doesn't like vegetables, who doesn't like this, doesn't like that, I promise you, if you let them have fun in the dirt, pick their own stuff, and be like, oh, I want to grow this, I want to grow this. Okay, when it grows, that's going to be yours to eat. They get so excited about it. Like it's a whole different level of excitement than going to the grocery store and be like, here, we're going to eat these carrots. Nah.
And you know, it also speaks to their personality too, right? Because one may like the herbs, right? He may be a doctor, you know what I mean? He or
Yeah.
she may be a doctor. And the other one that just went to green leafy greens or whatever, he just may be an athlete or something, you know,
Yeah,
whatever. You never know, you know, it's personality, you know?
exactly. And then like just nourish that, like nourish it because it's I don't know, like you just see different parts of their personality when you get them in the garden and you get them excited about growing food themselves because it's theirs. That's their baby. They want to take care of it. And it's amazing to see like how attentive they are to making sure their garden is watered, making sure mommy puts fertilizer on their fruit, their vegetables that they're growing, picking the flowers, because Ellie, I think, grew calendula flowers. And she asked if we could make tea. And I was like, you know what? I think you can. So,
You know my heart, man. Like, you know, my daughter when she was young too, like when she was about 3 or 4, I used to be like Kyle. Bob the Builder with the drill bits. Zzz, zzz. I'm building garden beds around here, and I got my daughter somewhere on some like footage. Well, me and my dad, we're doing a project. Showing my camera, and you know, she's holding like a flashlight or something, and it's like, you know, she would do the same thing, you know. Now she's older, she's in college. I sent her and my son both some aerial gardens. My son is, you know, he's giving me feedback on things that he's growing. My daughter hasn't yet, but I'm sure she probably did do it. She, you know, her semester just ended last week, so. But
I want to get an arrow garden so I can have salad stuff all year round because Nikolai he's the one who's growing the leafy greens. He loves salad. So I feel like if I get an arrow garden, like even a small one, so he can grow his little lettuces all year round, that would be great because we can't really grow it in the hot Florida heat because it bolts too quick, or if it does manage to grow even a little bit, it's so bitter it's not even edible.
man, yo, I'm having struggles right now. I'm be honest with you. Them aerial gardens kind of saved the day, and you know, this year has been really challenging for me because, like everybody know, I went out like gangbusters with all of the different growing mediums and methods and stuff, and I was doing a lot of content. And by the time April came around, I started giving stuff away. I had just so much, and in the home, we couldn't go outside yet. So some of the stuff was turning into like mushrooms in my house. So, you know, that's mold spores and stuff.
Yeah.
It had to go. I had to get it out of here regardless. Otherwise, it would eat me. You know what I'm saying? It would start messing with my lungs and stuff. So I start, you know, sending it out to different gardens and stuff in the neighborhood, helping people out, just donating stuff, donating charity. And some of the stuff came, and some of it didn't. It was we had some cold hits like 26 degrees, this and that, and I thought it was downhill for me. And the stuff that I was personally growing, I was doing the three sisters. I got my pumpkins, I got my, you know, my beans, my pump over here, da da da, and nothing. You know, this is like the first couple of weeks with nothing. It was like a big flop
Yeah.
for me. So with the aerial gardens, all I need to do is for things for to sprout. So basically, I'm gonna say like Mother's Day this year, which was 2 weeks ago, every 3 days, as soon as I sprout, boom, putting it in the thing. And like now I'm on the roof now. I'm finally getting on the roof. My roof looked like HE double hockey sticks. You know what I mean? So it
Yeah.
looked it. Oh up. So like I'm starting all over really. And but I'm optimistic because, you know, everything I'm growing like the same thing. Alfalfa, Brussels, broccoli, asparagus, whatever. I'm throwing everything, and
I have a
pepper.
note. I have a note in my calendar of when to start Brussels, broccoli, and all those types of things in my calendar because my kids were like, "Mom, can we grow broccoli?" And I'm like, "It's too hot right now. It's just gonna flower." And they're like, "But we want to grow broccoli." And I don't just have any broccoli. I have the fun color broccoli. You know, I have the purple, I have the yellow, and I have the like bright, like yellowish green one. So they're super excited to grow different colored broccolis. And I told them, "Don't worry, as soon as it starts to like August, September," I was like, "That's when we'll start growing our broccolis and stuff." And I was like, "You'll have your broccoli, I promise." So,
So is it like warmer in August and September in Florida or what? I don't know.
so our hottest months are August and September. But after we have our hottest months, that's when we start essentially going into fall.
Okay.
It's not really fall, but it starts cooling down.
Right, right, right. Mm. Man, you guys got summer, almost summer, still summer, and Christmas seasons. Those are your 4 seasons.
Yeah. And like Christmas season only, I swear it only lasts 2 weeks. Like that's it. Where it gets like cold for 2 weeks. This past year was like an anomaly where it lasted like almost a month. And I was like, what is going on? Like it's never this cold for this long. It lasted a whole month. And I was like, this is crazy. So,
You're blessed. You're
yeah.
blessed. You're blessed. But you got the tornadoes though, right? Something like that.
Yep.
Somewhere
That's why I'm
close.
working on getting a generator because let me tell you, if you live somewhere where your power frequently cuts out, the last thing you want to do is harvest an animal that you literally raised from birth all the way to harvest time and have hundreds or even close to 1,000 pounds of meat in your freezer and have it all go to waste because you lose power. We had that happen when we harvested one of our hogs last year. We ended up losing power for 8 days and I had to throw away. Luckily, we still had one pig to harvest, but the one pig that we did harvest was about 300 pounds of meat. We had to throw it all away.
Whew.
All of it. All of it got thrown away. And I was so upset because I worked so hard to raise them, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of money to feed them and to get them to weight. So yeah, I was not happy. And I told Kyle, I was like, ain't no way we're harvesting choppers until we get that generator.
Word up.
I was like, because if I lose 7, 8, 900 pounds of beef after working this hard, I'm gonna set
Yeah.
the whole farm on fire.
Man.
I'd be
You gotta
so
have
mad.
little teeny refrigerators everywhere too. You might
Oh
have to
yeah.
have different sections, like little
Oh, we play no games. We got 3 freezers.
right.
And I made sure the one freezer we got because my goal was always to be able to grow a cow to feed my family. My one stand up freezer that locks fits can fit 2 cows in it. That's how big it is. I
That's
made
big.
sure. Yeah, it's a
How
big
many,
freezer.
how many pounds is that? Like 1,800 pounds or what?
Yeah,
Woo.
1,800 pounds of beef can fit in there. When we put in, it wasn't last year. I think it was the year before. We put in about 700 pounds of pork in there after we harvested pork. We still have room in their freezer. So what we did was half the freezer was pork, and then we had harvested 25 chickens, and the chickens were up top. So yeah,
Wow. That's what's up, man.
yeah.
You got some people are saying what someone said human hair cuttings and stockings posted around can deter pests and animals. Interesting.
Hmm.
Where you gonna get hair cuttings from? Somebody getting a haircut.
Yeah, I just started growing my hair back out.
Go to the barber shop. Ask them, could you sweep the barber? Us
You
look
know what?
sweep the hair.
Actually, Nikolai is up for a haircut, and so is Kyle. I gotta give them both haircuts, so maybe I'll just cut their hair
Okay.
since they're due for a haircut.
That's a good hack. I
Yeah.
never thought of that. Thank you, kangaroo. King Guru World News. That's a
I
good
know a
friend. She's
good
a slogan design. Huh? What was that?
I know a good hack to keep predators away from like your birds and stuff if you don't have a livestock guardian. It's gonna sound weird, but it's to pee around your like perimeter of your coop and stuff. Because they view us as predators as well.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
they
yeah.
won't go near it. So your favorite thing is to grow is berries and fruit trees. Yeah, berries and fruit trees is like my favorite. It's a passion of mine. It's a labor of love. Because it's a healthy snack alternative for my kids. But I'm doing more gardening this year, like a lot more gardening to try and step my game up in the vegetable game.
No, that's right. I got
So
trees too. I have trees as well. I got a bunch of fruit trees as well. I'm just now really getting to the vegetables too. I'm learning that. I'm trying to master that craft as well. So,
you know what?
that's a really good question, huh?
You know what I noticed? So people have banana trees further south than me. Obviously, they're able to grow a rack of tomato or bananas and stuff like that. I had 3 trees planted for years. Every winter, fake winter, But as soon as we get a freeze for more than 2 days, them trees die, straight
Wow.
die.
They come
And
back?
yeah, they come back, but they get this big every year, and then they die, and then this big, and then they die. So I was like, I gotta try something else. So I talked to Tropical Plant Adventures. I think that's her name. I was
Maria.
like,
Same name as you.
and she had a banana video on what she did to bring her bananas back to life, where she took them out of the ground, cut them at the like near the base, and planted them in dirt. And she was like, "We'll check in a few weeks." And I was like, "You know what? I was like, I'm gonna go on a whim because she's very knowledgeable when it comes to exotic trees. I was like, I'm gonna do the same thing, and I'm gonna put them all in a pot and I'm gonna chop them off at the base. Man, these things are like 3 feet tall now.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
couldn't get them to grow on the ground, but I put them in pots because they are the dwarf varieties. Put them in
Okay.
the put them in the pots. They're shooting up like ridiculous. I was
Oh,
like,
like the burrow bananas?
they're the truly tiny banana.
Okay.
That's what they are. The tree itself shouldn't get any taller than 6 feet.
Okay.
So they're halfway there right now.
Nice.
And I was like, man, I cannot believe this.
All right,
But I took
guys.
her advice and it worked.
All right, guys. If you guys have any questions for Nerdy Girl, this would be the time. And I'm gonna have to let you hold the helms because I got to pay the water bill. You know what I'm saying? TMI, of course, but I don't have a partner now. You got to handle the questions, and I'll be back. And I
Fine.
think we got somebody want to come up here and say hi. I think it's Sister Suzette. We're gonna bring her back when I come back. 1 second. This is the time, ladies and gentlemen, to ask all your questions to Nerdy Girl. I'll be right back.
Yeah, 'cause after this, I'm going to bed because I got to wake up super early in the morning. Anybody got any questions about farming? What is it called? Husbandry? uh, about raising goats, raising cows, raising pigs, chickens. I raised ducks, geese, turkeys. Got turkey in the freezer right now. Vegetables. How is your okra? Um, I gotta look. A lot of my peppers and like hot weather plants look just not doing well because of how much rain we got, and a lot of them died, and I'm gonna have to redo it. And then having the tornado and rain like 2 weeks in a row killed a lot of my stuff that was in my beds, and I had to restart it. So I think my okra was one of the ones that I have to restart again, and some of my peppers I have to restart again because the beds got flooded out and just killed them. And I'm worried that all the garlic that I planted is going to be the same way, and I'm going to lose all my garlic. I think I planted over 50 bulbs of garlic And I almost lost my potatoes. I was happy that I got like 2 pounds out of what I planted, but those were starting to rot in the ground too because of all the rain we got. And I just had to pull them. I made a conscious decision. I was like, I'm gonna pull these now before I don't got no potatoes. And I'll try again after hurricane season.
I got a question. So is your land sandy?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's more sand than dirt.
Yeah, it's a lot more sand than dirt. The only places where we have dirt is where we've kept animals at. So like the pig pen is, I want to say it is at least a foot of dirt because the last 4 years we've had pigs. Although the pigs that are currently in there are pets, but we have had pigs in there. And each year in between pigs, we heavily mulch it, about a foot of mulch before we bring any new animals in, and we keep the area like empty for at least 6 months. And that's like just our rule of thumb, so we're not like transferring any diseases, sicknesses, or anything like that. So we always wait the mandatory like 6 months before we get new pigs, anything, and we keep the area empty. And then for the chicken coop, once a year we heavily mulch their area too, to try and keep sickness, disease, and everything else out of their pen. Luckily for the goats, they have different pastures that we can switch them into, and we just pretty much cut them off of one pasture, move them to the next, so that way they give the area they were in a break for at least 6 months, and then we switch them around.
What's up? Backyard Farm said add some gypsum.
What is that?
I don't know what that is either. What is that, brother?
Hold on, I'm writing this down. Got my pen.
I screenshotted it. I just
All right, I wrote that.
I'll send it to you later. I'm gonna look it up right quick.
Yes, gypsum. They are land clearers.
Gypsum is it's a sulfate. It's a sulfate. Excuse me, a sulfate mineral compound of calcium sulfate.
Okay.
So
add that to their feed or add that to their pasture after I move them? Is that what you're saying? Add it to their pasture after I move them?
Use as a fertilizer.
Mm.
It's kind of the same. It's the main constitute in forms of plaster and drywall.
Okay. I'm a look up where I can get some. So maybe I can get when I go starting to plant the alfalfa and the peanut hay in their pasture, I'm gonna try and get some of that beforehand. All right, I am going to say goodnight since no one else had any questions.
All right, absolutely. I appreciate you coming through, man. You know, real talk. Everybody, please follow the Nerdy Girl on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and of course here. Only Instagram. And while you got her here, tell them your email so they can contact you for some interviews and whatever else.
For business purposes, my email is nerdygirlfarmer@gmail.com. But that's for business only. No spam, no ma'am, no thank you ham.
Just no bats and no rats.
Yeah. If you send me some unsolicited things, you're immediately deleted and blocked. I'm just letting you know now.
And halt.
It comes pelletized or powdered. I'm gonna do the pelletized so I can drop it with my seeds. That's perfect. Thank you, the Backyard Farms. I really appreciate that.
And what would that do exactly?
It's if it's a fertilizer, I'm assuming he says it revitalizes the soil. So if it revitalizes the soil, it's gonna help. If I'm planting alfalfa and peanut hay, it's going to help them, get a good jump start in the growth process. So that way, I can really, really cut down my hay costs.
No, that's right.
Reconditions the soil. Oh yeah, definitely going to do that.
do you recompost that soil? Like, after you mulch it heavily, so and so, do you take part of it and use it somewhere else, or you just leave it
In
where it
the
is?
so the one the in the chicken coop, yes.
Okay.
In the chicken coop, I will take like in their 10 by 10, I will take the dirt out before I re clean it and stuff like that, and I'll transfer it to the gardens, and I'll mix it in and do like a heavy, like, because it has nitrogen in their poop and stuff like that, so
Right.
that's a natural fertilizer. And when I'm mulching the trees for the winter, or after every season, like if I'm mulching, whenever I mulch the trees, I mix in that dirt from the chicken coop into the mulch that I'm doing for my trees, and it seems to be helping. That and the bunny uh, poop that I've been using. The bunny,
Amendments. Amendments, guys.
yeah, the bunny amendment and the chicken amendment is what I've been using in combination with mulch from all my fruit trees. And listen, I haven't gotten a lemon or lime since I moved here. And guess who's getting their first? I don't know what it is because I can't remember. But guess who's getting their first citrus? Me.
You. Because probably the bunnies, right? The bunnies
Yeah,
definitely. That was boss. That was a boss move right there.
yeah. And he's a pet, so I was like, why not? And when people were telling me about like how great his fertilizer was, I was like, what?
Right.
Y'all ain't shared this with me before. So
Right. 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 That's why we got to teach each other, man. We got to learn because you know, each situation is going to be different, but you got to try a little bit of stuff. Everything is a theory until you try it for yourself. Everything.
exactly. Listen, I think my bunny fertilizer is the reason why my pear trees are doing so well. I think it's the reason why my peach trees are doing so well. My tea tree that got ran over by someone's lawnmower, I think the reason why it's coming back so well is because of the bunny fertilizer. So, I don't remember who recommended it to me, but whoever did, like, thank you, because I've been using it all over my orchard, and my trees are thanking me for it in abundance.
Good deal. I love to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, we love you. Hey, come back, man. We get you back here and give us some updates. And, we're glad to see you and thank you for your service again.
Thank
Memorial
you.
Day
Thank
is
you
a
for
big
yours.
one, definitely, so everybody, the nerdy girl.
Bye, you guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful night.
God bless.
Bless you guys too.
Yes, this part of the program is brought to you by Trapped in a World of Words by Mercy Merce. You might see a glare, but this is the guy who wrote that book. It almost looks like me. I'm gonna go on a limb here. We had a friend that also wanted to come up here. Let's see if we can get her to say hi.
Hey,
What's going on, West Coast? What's happening over here? What's going on in your world, man?
how you doing? I can't be
I'm
on here on camera, I guess, huh? That's okay. Um, how y'all doing? How are you doing? How's everybody here doing tonight? It's still
man.
sunny out here in the bay, but I see it's probably dark where you are, huh?
Yeah, it's nighttime. Well, the sun went down. You know what I mean? But I'm doing well, sis. I mean, I can't complain, man. If I told you how good I was doing, you would think I was bragging. So I'm gonna just say same old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just regular. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
But
it's all
God
right
is
to
good.
share goodness, though.
LG, life good. You know what I mean? What can we say?
No,
Huh?
it's good to share joy. It's good to share wonderful things. It's
What's up with your camera? You scared of us?
I'm
You
not
gun
scared.
shy?
It said I can't join
You
on
don't got enough
camera.
numbers. I know you got some numbers, lady. What's up with your number?
Me?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I know you got live numbers
You
because
know
you got a
what?
whole
You
you got
know
a whole podcast. I know you got
You know what's
enough
funny?
numbers.
I do not go live that often at all.
I've
And
seen you live though.
huh?
I've seen you live.
You've seen me live. You have seen me live, but I don't do it enough. And so maybe is that why they're saying I can't come on here on camera?
That's
Oh
what I
wait.
feel like. You know what I'm
Wait a
saying?
minute.
I am
Hold
not
on.
the one.
Hold on
I
a
ain't
minute.
gonna call it because I ain't Dion Ward. You know what I'm saying? There you go.
Here
Chocolate. What's
I
going
am.
down with
Hey,
you?
hey. Here I am.
What's happening with you, man? West Coast. What's up, man?
West Coast, Oakland in the house.
Oh, the swamp, Brandy Park. What up?
No, not I'm not.
We ain't gonna do that. All right. We ain't gonna. I be bending corners, man. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you know. Hey, hey, Aladwina, is that how you say your name? Aladwina, hey there. How you doing, pretty lady?
Yeah.
I see some
That's my
familiar.
sister. That's
Yeah,
my sister from another mister. Yeah.
I
That's my
see
family.
some
All of these are my
familiar
family. You know what I'm saying? All
backyard
these.
farms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
what's going on in the
what's
nickel
going on
dime?
with
You know
me?
what I'm
So
saying? The
today,
510 area. Huh?
I have a whole lot to say about
Who?
bunny poop as a fertilizer. So
Mm-hmm.
I have had rabbits in my garden for the last 3.5 years. And when I say that they make the best compost, mixing that with my food waste, um, which is, fruit and vegetable waste, peels and cores and all that, mix that with the bunny poop. Um, and and then also am a worm farmer. I don't know if you know that, but that's a big part of how I compost. And the worms love it. It's like, rice and beans and mangoes, all that
Man.
stuff, avocados, they love it. So they transform compost probably in, I would say, a third of the time than just a hot compost. But I have both going on, the hot compost and worms, but I like the worms a lot better. So I'm somebody who you can contact about your worm composting questions. I kind of fell into it without meaning to, but I love it. It's kind of weird, but I do love it.
Man, I love it too. You know what I'm saying? I actually appreciate all you guys coming through with all different facets of your farming journey.
Yeah.
You know, I've been doing this too for a while. You I had put out so much content. Like I'm a workaholic, right? So I'm sitting here looking for some of my stuff just so I could just grab right quick. But there was one day that I had posted about my bunnies, and they all unalived themselves, like back in like January 23. And I
Mm-hmm.
was trying to find a video, but I was doing bunnies. I did a whole bunny. I was going chinchilla bunnies. You know what I'm
Are
saying? And
chinchillas bunnies?
The
Or
Rex
are they?
chinchillas.
Are they? I mean, I don't know. I thought they were a whole different breed of animal.
Well, look, coats.
Yeah.
They got the whiskeys too. I forgot what they was called. They some type of Australian whiskeys, the little yellow ones.
Uh huh.
I definitely was, I had that type of breed as
Hmm.
well. So I dealt with that. And of course, I did the worms. I did the red wigglers and the earthworms and stuff too. So I'm
Yeah.
aware. I'm
Yeah.
aware.
Yeah.
You know what
It's
I'm saying?
it's powerful. It's powerful stuff. I had two bunnies. One of them I had to put down just last week. Lilo. So y'all, if you've been following me for a while, Lilo is no longer with us. May she rest in peace. She was my
Sorry to hear
homie,
that.
my little rabbit homie.
Yeah,
Always would
sorry to
come
hear
and
that.
you know, poke me at my feet like, "Hey, I know you got something," because she would get all the garden goodies like mint and roses and greens, and she knew if she followed me around, she was gonna get treats.
Look, did she do the stomp? Did she do the stomp? You know they get mad at you, right?
Yep, yep. No, she
Yeah.
wasn't feisty. She was more of a lover, not a fighter. She'd just be like, "I'll just follow you around." She was a German Angora, so she was all white with pink eyes. Looked a little creepy, but sweet as hell.
Yeah, rabbits are dope. You
Yeah,
know,
they are. People
they
people sleep on rabbits because they think. I mean, I don't know what they think, but I also was sleeping on rabbits until I got a couple and was like, you know what, these are not bad, and they work for the garden too. So I'm not gonna complain. You know,
Did they? What didn't they eat? What didn't your rabbits
what
eat?
do they eat? So I had one who really liked beet greens, and the other one did not. They each have the things that they really like. So, and I didn't. I would let them run around in the garden without being in a cage. So they
Right.
would eat, whatever they came across: clover, dock. I said roses already. Um, and you don't want to feed them all kinds of things because they can get really sick. I mean, they can eat sage, they can eat all kinds of herbs. Um, they're easy to feed if you have a little garden. So, and the payoff with the compost is huge. Huge. Even though
Amazing.
I don't have them anymore, their compost is in the bin and it's going to last me at least a few more seasons because I have a lot of compost.
I see you with your 80-gallon compost. I see you over there
The
being
beast.
all great with your 80-gallon compost.
Hey, I'm all about the composting. I'm all
I
about the
see you.
composting.
I hear
So,
you.
if anybody has questions about composting, I am always available.
I got a million questions about composting. Let's talk about compost, shall we? What do you
Composting.
start? How do you start your composting?
How do I start my compost? So, I always start with fruit and vegetable scraps, carrot peels, you know, cucumber peels, any kinds of things that I'm putting in my food waste. So, I have a little bin on my counter. So anytime I cook, I even put eggshells, coffee, all that kind of stuff, but no dairy, no meat products. After I have about a pound of it, I put it together with dry leaves and sticks. So I just gather those up around the garden, about equal portions, so that it's once they're mixed together, it's kind of dry because all of the moldy food is going to get wet. And so you want to make sure that there's always a good balance of wet and dry in your compost. And you can tell when it's too wet, it gets stinky, right? But you can easily solve that problem by just adding more leaves. And something else I do is shredded paper for my office. So, I have uh, a public health job during the day, and I am on, social media in between all that work that I'm doing, which is why I'm not live that much because I get distracted too easily with all the stuff I got going on.
I know
Um,
that's right.
so I mix those two, the dry and the wet, and then I just monitor it. And now that I've got all this other compost established, I will add some of the old compost to the new. I always keep some compost going no matter what.
Right.
Even if it's in a 5 gallon bucket, having some compost started uh, is great because it also reduces how much food waste makes it to landfill because that is one of the biggest contributors to greenhouse gases is food rotting in landfills. So if we each can compost our own food even a little bit, or if you got to use the city compost service, it's so much better than it going to the landfill where it's all concentrated in one place and all those gases go up and it creates all kind of environmental problems. And people don't always see that when you spread it out and your waste is in different, each house has their own waste, and that means it's not as concentrated. It's better for the planet. So
Man,
that's how I do.
I
What
actually
about
love
you?
that. I love I love that answer. I mean, I couldn't have said it better. I mean, the only thing I would have said differently is like all of these boxes that we got. You shred paper. I do the lasagna method. I mean,
Yeah.
I know you know it, but I use the twigs. I use toilet paper, whatever. All of that stuff I'm saving, and I make sure I just cut around the cardboard for all the like sticky plastic tape things and address, labels and crap, and I throw that out. But I use that. I wet it. I put the food scraps. I'll throw some dirt on top of that. I'll do like the paper and leaves and worms and food scraps again, and just you know keep keep going on top of it, and just let it just do what it do, and it break
Yeah.
down. And if I start off the base with the cardboard, I do like puncture holes in there. So because at the second or third layer with the food scraps, the worms will like find it anyway. So you know what I mean? Yeah.
I do. I do. And you know what's cool about the lasagna method is you can do it in pots. So if you want to grow food in pots, you can do the lasagna method in the pot so that the compost is happening beneath the soil.
Mhm.
So for people who don't know lasagna, I mean, you want to say what it is because I'll take over
Lasagna.
the show.
I mean, go ahead. No, this is about a learning. This is a learning platform, But lasagna method is simple. It's just like layers of different compost, right? Different brown, green, and before you know it, you got to stir it up and keep it wet. It's gonna create some type of heat because it's gonna be like a barrier, right? But you probably can articulate it better than I.
Well, I'll give it a shot. Not to do it better than you, but just to give you my understanding of what it
You
is.
already know Shine the Master.
Um, So with the lasagna method, you're basically building a compost lasagna just like you would make a regular lasagna. So you have different layers of things that you put in. So you start off with your cardboard at the base. That helps with like if you're doing it on a lawn, especially like if you're trying to get rid of a lawn, which by the way, I think everybody should get rid of their lawns and grow food instead. That's a whole different show. We could talk about that another time. But um so put your cardboard down as a barrier. Then you put a I use hay or straw. I always forget which one. The one that doesn't have seeds in it. I think it's hay. And then a wet layer of compost, and then a dry layer of leaves. And then repeat that. Uh, Cardboard, hay, compost, leaves, or
Food
food waste.
scrap.
When I say compost, I'm meaning food scraps, so not compost that's already finished. Although you could mix that in if you have it, but food scraps, and then on top of that, leaves. And what happens is that with the food scraps, as they rot, they start to drip into the lower levels, and then it starts to mix together. So if you put that into a pot, you're basically making compost beneath the plant, and it's just going to go in there and find whatever it needs. So I did that because some of y'all know I moved away from a farm that I had, and I had to figure out how to grow in a much smaller space. And so I had to grow most of my food in pots. Yeah, it's all in pots. So I'm not doing any fruit trees right now, but I will because I'm learning a lot more about what's required to have fruit trees in pots. I'm just not there yet. Um,
What type of fruit trees do you design?
I I I had a wonderful Granny Smith, I'm sorry, Golden Delicious apple tree, which put out amazing apples. I used to love to make applesauce and apple crisp and all kind of apple everything, apple tea, apple everything. Plums, persimmons. I love persimmons. Um, Oranges, lemons, peaches, cherries. There's a California cherry that's a wild cherry. It's a little red. It's a little bit bigger than like a Bing cherry and rounder, but it's like a mix between a cherry and a plum.
Hmm.
Um, and super good. That made really good plum sauce. I used to make this plum sauce like a barbecue sauce with the plum.
What?
So good, so good. Um, and so yeah, I would do probably apple and persimmon first. That would be what I would go for first because I love them and would be eating them all the time, and probably a plum.
Them persimmons are dope. I mean, like, you ever had persimmon scones?
I have not had persimmon scones, but I bet they would be hella good.
All day.
Yeah,
Persimmons is just a unique taste in itself, you know. Actually, I think I've actually tried that when I was in Cali, as a matter of fact.
yeah. So
It was,
good. Hey, Easy Peasy. I see you.
yeah, I wanted to say hi to her too. I didn't want to interrupt you. You know
That's
what I mean?
okay. Yeah.
What up,
She's
Easy Peasy?
she's dope. I love her
Modesto.
content. I love
Yes,
her
Lord.
energy.
She's from Modesto. A
Yeah.
really good friend of mine's from Modesto, California. Rudy Flores. His family owns like a winery. So shout out to him, and he's also a veteran. Shout out to my man Rudy. You know what I mean? In Modesto, California. Modesto is OG too, man. They was the first people that they had the solar wind chime. What do you call that? The wind
The
mills.
windmills?
Yeah, to do
Mm-hmm.
energy
Mm-hmm.
conservation.
Oh yeah. On the way out there, those
Right.
big they're not windmills, they're wind turbines, those big old turbines. Yes, she lives there, but she's from the Bay. See, she's gotta
Facts.
represent the Bay, even though she's in Modesto. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Modesto, but the Bay just has its own.
The Bay was dope,
The
man.
Bay,
Treasure Island,
yep,
what? Alameda College, Laney College, you know what I'm saying? East
yep.
98th Street. Come on, man. Listen,
Man,
sleep on me if you want to. You know what I
huh?
mean? I'm well known. I'm well known. Trust no belief.
She said, and
You
yep,
already
and
know.
this.
I was dropping stuff like look Durant Square and all of that. So that's way back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, the
Yeah,
rest
you
of
want
it
to
square is still there. That's where you get your gold.
right. Like the swap meet.
That's what I mean.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
See?
Eastmont ain't there though no more though, right? Eastmont
Huh?
ain't there.
What'd you say?
Eastmont Mall ain't there.
Eastmont, it's not a mall anymore. It's now a wellness center.
Wow.
So, but a mall is going down when all they have is a beauty supply and like a shoe shine, right? And that's what Eastmont Mall had gotten to.
In the chicken
So,
spot.
and it
Something.
and a chicken spot, but when the chicken spot leaves,
It's
it's
done. It's done.
it's all bad.
Yeah, what about the Uhuru house?
It's about to close. I think
Oh
I think
man.
they might have just closed. So that spot was one where you could get furniture, any kind of furniture that people would donate. And yeah, it was a black owned business and it had been around for what, like 50 years or something. It's been around.
When I was there, that's when they had the Black Panther meetings there. You dig?
Yep.
The original, not this Wakanda, the real Black Panthers.
The
The
real real.
Holy Fists. You know what I mean?
Yep. The
It's so
the
cool.
headquarters is in Oakland, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Shall remain nameless. Mosque number 26.
Yes.
You heard? The Black
Hmm.
Muslim Bakery on San Pablo. You
Man,
dig?
that's not there anymore either.
No.
They used to
No.
have, okay, wait, I'm gonna ask you if you really know Oakland lore, what did they used to have there that was the best? Two things
Where? At
at the Black
um
Muslim Bakery.
oh, come on, man. A honey carrot pie family.
Okay.
And what you call them some kind of buns. It was like some kind of cinnamon, but it was a raisin cinnamon bun,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
And but I didn't go there for that.
The fish
I went there
sandwich
for
for
the
the
fish
meat.
sandwich was pop into. Yeah, I was vegan like even back then. But
Okay.
I I used to rock with the zucchini bread. I was cool with
Mm,
Dr. Beck, you know what I mean? And Dawood.
yeah,
Dawood was on 12th Avenue. But I knew some of his sons too.
but
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
times. There's different times
That's a
now.
whole different, yeah, that's a whole different conversation. We're gonna have to talk about that. I'm just and look, and people don't know, I don't even know Suzette. I'm just meeting her on this live right now. But I feel like I know her forever. You know what I'm saying? We just family like that. You know, so
Yeah,
never rock. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
that's really dope.
yeah, yeah. Oakland is dope. It's got its issues. Like now, it's starting to be way more expensive than it ever was, and kind of not cool. because it's pushing out a lot of Oakland culture, you know? And I was just down by the lake though the other day, and now you know how they had the farmers market on one side of the lake?
Yes.
And they would have like drum classes and people would go over there and dance. Now they've turned that into like a small African marketplace. So you can
Wow.
get
By the library.
dresses and huh?
The library, right? It was
Yep.
what was it? The Allen Theater, right?
Not Allen. You're talking about the archway?
Nah, family, hold on. So you got you know where I used to work? I used
Where?
to work at the Alameda DMV right there.
Oh, for real?
I was working there. Yeah. I
Okay.
used to I'm talking way back, like so. But yeah, it was they used to do capoeira classes over there, right? On like around behind the library or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah. Behind the
This
library. You are still talking about by the lake, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, on that side, right? So because I used to live on the lake. I was living on Hanover Street, right?
You were on Hanover?
Yeah, baby, you understand? You understand? You dig me? You understand me? Yeah.
Oh, what was your
I
address?
was always 331 Hanover Street.
Oh my gosh. I used to be at 341 Hanover all the time.
What year?
Well, that was 2006,
Okay, okay, yeah.
2005, 2006.
I
But
still know
yeah,
people on that block. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? And you got the Grand Theater. I
Grand
used to go to
Lake.
the Fifth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment right there on Lakeshore Drive.
Yep.
They used to play the live band music and stuff. But
Yep.
I used to up and down. I used to live in Leopold's, the record store.
Yep.
Yeah,
Down
in
on Durant.
Berkeley.
On
No,
Durant and
Berkeley.
Berkeley.
Yes, yes, yes. You're right. Correct, correct,
Yep.
correct, correct,
Yep.
correct, correct. It's a pizza shop over there. It was
Blondie's.
huh?
Blondie's
Yes,
pizza or Fat
yes.
Slice? Which one?
It was Blondie's. The
Blondie's.
record store, right? By the record store. Whichever one was closest to the record store, that was the
Oh,
one.
you talking about Laval's?
Oh.
Um,
Leopold's record store in Berkeley.
I know about Leopold's. I'm trying to think of what the pizza spot was because I was a Blondie's person. You see, the sun is coming in. It's starting to go down.
You know DJ Lenore?
Huh?
DJ Lenore, he used to play like at the Caribbean when the Caribbean was on
Caribbean. The
man,
Caribbean. Oh
hold on,
my
hold on. You know San
goodness.
Pablo too. That was my partner. You know, he used to mix a reggae set.
Yeah,
That was my partner.
the Caribbean. Oh my gosh. See, Vanessa saying small world. We're just talking and talking, not even interacting with folks in the
Yeah.
live. Hello, folks. Thank you for
We
being
dropping
here.
names, we dropping streets. We're
Man,
gonna have to keep it
y'all are
back
like,
to these people. But yo, that
where
it's a good time. It's a good time.
it is. So where's everybody? Not calling, dialing, not dialing. Where's everybody from?
Transmitting from.
Transmitting
Um,
from.
yeah, sister Vanessa is from Memphis.
From
And
Memphis. Okay.
who else is in? Miss Sherry, I believe she's from Ohio.
Let's see. Delaware Coast.
Oh,
Where
she's
is
from Delaware. That's right. I'm sorry. That's right. That's
West
right. I don't
Coast?
know why I said she was from Ohio. I apologize.
Hey, Sherry. Nice to see you here. Thank you for being here and listening to our banter.
Right.
All right. So what other gardening topic do we want to talk about? Are we
Whatever. Whatever you want to talk about. Like even back then I was growing stuff then too.
what were you growing in California?
I was growing a business. I had a business. I had a lotion business.
Lotion. Okay.
I used to sell lotions at that flea market right there across the street from the very first Whole Food Market
You talking about the Ashby flea market?
by Ashby Bart. That's right, the very first one. Oh my God. You know Dr. Bay, right? Who used to own the
Mhm.
Black Muslim Bakery? He was
Yep.
like, Brother Merciful, you smell like, you know what I mean? And I was
Mhm.
like, yeah, 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 yeah. I had a fat burger sandwich or whatever. I had to be like 20 years old. He said, Joe, you eating a blood burger, brother. I said, Dr. Babe, you don't get out of here with that. This ain't no blood in this burger. Yeah, how much you want to bet? You know, he was always like,
Mm-hmm.
he's a millionaire. He was talking that millionaire money stuff. He said, I bet you whatever you got in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? That's a blood burger. I said, this ain't no blood burger, brother. What you talking about? We was arguing back and forth right there on the street. Ashby bought right there.
Yeah.
And he tells me, hey, listen, squeeze that burger, brother. I squeezed the burger. It was nothing but red came out of that thing.
Ew.
And I took that hamburger and I threw it across the street.
Yeah.
That's fast food.
Now that's fast food, right?
You heard? And I was like, yo, brother, why did you do that, man? He said, yo, I'm trying to save your life, man. You eating all this poison. You eating poison animals, brother. Go across the street. Whole Foods had the tofu burritos.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got hooked on them things. I was on there ever since. I was pretty much a vegan from that point on. I was 20 and a half.
Yeah.
I was a bee head then. I was dabbling in honey then. Got into a fight with somebody because the guy was like, you know, this is when the emergence of the vegetarian to vegan, and then it became the alkaline vegan. And the alkaline vegan don't believe in honey. Oh, because it's an insect. It's
Right.
closely related to an animal. I said, this is ridiculous. Honey is in the Bible.
Right.
What are you
And you're
talking
not
about?
dying, you're not killing bees for honey.
Buddy.
But some people just don't want to eat animal products. I don't eat a lot of meat, but I still do occasionally. And it wasn't necessarily for health reasons, but when I drove down to LA, you ever done that drive from the Bay to LA?
Highway 5, yeah.
So you get to a certain point on Highway 5 and you can only smell cows and you don't see them for another 20 miles.
Baker's
And
Baker's
so
Fifth.
they smell so bad.
Think
And
the
then
high
when you
heaven.
get to them, you look like, oh my God, they're just all standing in caca in mud. And I just was so grossed out then that I wanted to change how I ate meat. I wasn't opposed to meat itself, but I was opposed to how it was being grown. And yeah, I kind of got away from it. Um, but yeah, I like the book How to Eat to Live and follow that. I eat a lot of legumes, rice and beans, lentils. I got some lentils and rice on the stove right now.
You look like you aging backwards as well. You know what I mean?
How,
The sun,
how,
the, the
how old
sun
you
is
think I am?
flavoring you. I'm not gonna ask a lady how old they are. If you
No, I'm
chick,
asking you. Just say,
forever
just say
29,
27.
forever 29.
Okay. But
Tell me, just tell me.
I have been juicing a lot lately for the last month because who was it? Health and wellness coach. I
Yeah, I
wish
know
I knew his
Yancy.
real name, but
Yancy.
Yancey. Okay.
Mhm.
So he's been doing a lot of juicing, and I said, you know what? I need to be doing some juicing too. So I do feel like it's doing me some good.
That's what's up. Greatness, greatness, greatness. You got the sun kissing on you, man. You got the hot weather. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's a beautiful thing. Finally, I get a chance to meet you. You know what I mean? We got the East Coast, West Coast thing going on.
Yeah.
Brooklyn and Oakland, to me, is on the same latitude line. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
And we're
It's
both Haitian.
no, I'm not Haitian.
You're not Haitian?
I just look like Usher cousin. You know what I mean? I'm not
Wait a
Haitian.
minute. I thought you were Haitian this whole time.
Nah, my family is from the South, Georgia and Virginia.
Why did I
Okay,
think that?
because I just say South Pacific. I got Haitian friends too.
That's you know what? You look almost exactly like my friend Richard.
Right. I
And
look like everybody.
yeah, and so I don't know. I guess I just figured you were Haitian. And you said sac passe. So
Right. If I
okay.
go up the block, they're gonna tell you I'm Cubano. You know what I mean? Or Dominican. You know what I mean? So depending on how I put moose in my head, you know what I mean? But I'm black.
Cool. Say
I'm the
depending on
original
how
man.
I
The
put
maker, the
moose
owner, creator, parent, earth,
in
father,
my ear.
civilization of the universe. You know what I mean?
All right.
That's what it is. You know, and I'm happy to meet you, man. Listen, you know, you got to come back because we haven't met you here. We got to get a lot of people in, and we end in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
You
Well, I
know,
want to invite folks to listen to the Food Indie podcast. Come on over to my website, befoodindie.com. And just now you can see where I am. Come over to my page. If you're not following The Garden Gumbo, do that. You probably are if you're on the live. And yeah, we're here for garden questions and collaborations. And if you want to be on the podcast and tell your garden story, you're welcome to come on. You got to come on. You
I'm
want
about
to
to
come
say I want to come on and tell a garden story or
You want to
three.
come on and tell a garden story? Okay.
Yeah, I got a million stories.
You got a million garden stories? All right. I will make sure to get you scheduled. I'm gonna I got your email. So I'm gonna forward that to my scheduling person and get you on the show. And so we'll figure it out.
Perfecto. That's what's up. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? And listen, Garden Gumbo on YouTube, Garden Gumbo on Twitter. I'm permanently banned from Facebook and Instagram for some strange reason. So, if you guys get Garden Gumbo stuff, share it on Instagram and Facebook.
Wait, you're banned from Instagram too?
Yeah. I don't know
Dang.
what I did. No, I was overseas, and it's the dumbest thing. I was in Argentina about 2 years ago, and they asked to see my passport on a computer. Yeah, right. You might as well just tell me, give me your social security number. I'm not giving you my passport. No, sir, ma'am, sir, ma'am. Not doing it. I'm not doing it. You got 10 days to respond. You got a million years to respond. I'm never going to do it. And I said no, and they just said, all right, you're done. So I was like, bet, I'm cool.
Dang.
I'm cool with it because guess what? Wherever I go, the party is. You know what I mean? Party over here ain't nothing over there.
That's
You know what
my
I'm saying?
line. That's my line.
Nah, that's me all day. You want to see people pop up on my feed? Yo, Merce, I miss you. Because it's a vibe, but that's what it is.
Yeah,
I'm not mad.
I bring the calm. I don't bring the party. I bring the balance.
I mean, I'm really peace, though. I mean, it depends on who it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm normally, like, really, really chill, and it depends on the person. So, but I'm not bitter. I'm better. Makes no difference.
Right.
And besides that, it's getting to be Gestapo anyway over there because they're censoring people. And I am I'm a black man. I'm a guy who have
In Argentina?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're not too far from that here. Just saying.
No. I'm talking FBI, Facebook, Instagram. Censorship. So you can't say what you want to say, and it's like, why be there if I can't talk? I mean, sit down. You can't talk for 30 days, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not a child. You're not going to infantize me, sir, ma'am, sir. I'm going to talk how I want to talk. And it's not like I'm talking about anything revolutionary. I'm just talking about grow your food. And even in that's revolutionary days.
It is. People don't want you teaching people how to grow food because that takes away from the industrial food system, right? From us going to the grocery store. Every time we grow something, we don't have to buy it. And, that is revolution. Gardening is revolution.
Gardening is revolutionary and you get strawberries. But at the same time, I feel that they don't want people who have a voice to talk to people and make them think. Right. And I definitely gonna say something to make you think and readjust your situation. So they suppress my content. But you know what? One thing is for sure, two things for certain. You can push things down as much as you can. There will be no struggle without progress. No progress without struggle. So I was born in the struggle and I'm built for this. So no matter where you see it, you're gonna see me and I'm gonna be talking my same thing. And you can't stop it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm heavily protected by the Most High.
By the divine, yeah.
That's it. If he say it is, then this is what it is. And nobody could stop that. If God be for you, then who can be against you? And that's all I got to say.
Yeah, that's right.
And peace and blessings. And we're gonna meet you again. So we're gonna catch you guys next week. I hope you guys enjoyed our show. Dun, 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 dun. Hope you like our show. Miss Suzette. Yeah, I'm not Haitian, but I mean, we're everything though. The whole planet belongs to us. They just gave us different names to make us think we're different.
We just need to act that way. That's what I'm saying.
No, we just show love. I mean, I believe in the love train.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes we forget though, and we need to be reminded, and we have to be, we have to just give people grace, and
We
I think
do.
that's what happens.
We do, but I mean, we could talk about this another time, but I will say folks better get it together and start thinking about their food and resources because there is a lot happening. And even all you got to do is look at the weather. Just that happened this week. I'm not saying that gardens would have saved people from tornadoes, but tornadoes will stop trucks from coming in with food if the roads aren't passable. So if everybody plants a little something, um, and get to know your food, figure out how to grow food, it will benefit you later so much more than you think. So I'm just going to put that out there. I'm sure everybody on here is at least thinking about it because the Garden Gumbo attracts those kind of folks. So I'm
It's the
just saying,
gold standard.
tell a friend, tell people around you who are not growing food or who buy everything from the store that it's just beneficial to know how to put a seed in the ground and to make it grow. You don't have to do a lot. You could just have one plant, but know how to grow. Or get with somebody who does know.
Throw it in the ground. God will water it, man. Don't worry about it. And we'll see you next time. Peace and blessings, man. I wish Edwina was here to tell us, you know what I'm saying? Be good to yourself and be good to others, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But
Right.
there go your boy Yancey just came in,
Oh, look at him. Just right there. All right.
All right. Peace and blessings, everybody. God bless. All right. Next week. See you next week. God bless.